We welcome Mr. Annamalai, former IPS officer and Tamil Nadu State BJP President, who is also popular as Singam.
I request Annamalai to place the patient on the stage. Request on behalf of Forum for IT employees to President Annamalai. I request Vinod on behalf of IT employees to President Annamalai.
I request everyone to please sit down. You are blocking the media cameras. I request everyone to please sit down. All the actors please sit down. All you please sit down. They say that when two superpowers are in one place, there is lightning and thunder. That is an example today we are witnessing. And the results in Kerala and across India and continue to also be as like this. And it is Lord Sriram to bless us. Hello? Annamalai, we were discussing on the topic Viksit Bharat, how it is connected to all the IT employees in India. In our childhood days, we were only thinking that India is a developing country, poor 90% are poor. But now from 2014, we are witnessing a drastic change. And now we want you two dignitaries to discuss and explain what is exactly the concept of Viksit Bharat.
Friends, I am firstly very delighted to come here because there is an idea about how our parliament MP should be. There is an idea. And each of those constitutional posts is designed in such a way, be it a panchayat president or be it a local body, a public representative, or be it a member of legislative assembly, or be it a member of parliament. Member of parliament is a post that is designed to keep in mind a person who will have a vision and foresight. A person who can ideate the future. A person who can collectively take the country's thinking towards the future we are dreaming of. Because this post, a member of the way it is designed, he might have a check about 25 lakh people, sir, voters. 29 lakh voters.
29 lakh.
So which means we are looking at about 40 lakh people who live. Voters are at least. So as we can understand, the way a member of parliament is designed, of course he cannot meet all the 29 lakh people on a daily basis. He cannot meet. It is just impossible. It is also not possible that our candidate would have Vishweshwar Reddy Garu can meet them in 5 years. Not possible. So this role is designed for a visionary. A person who can articulate. A person 540 people in the parliament who can collectively ideate and take the country forward. So this we have to understand in an MP election. This is not an election for fixing up a pothole. This is not an election where we can come and ask Vishweshwar Reddy Garu, what is the pipeline that is there? MLA, the local body, public body representatives are different. So this is an election we have been looking at a visionary. That is why I'm extremely delighted we are sitting in front of a visionary who have achieved great things, who have achieved multiple things in the sector he has worked. First time I met him many months back in Hyderabad. We are having a lovely conversation on the digitization of land records. Lovely conversation. For about 1 hour we were sitting in the car and his vision, even for some of the hydroelectric projects of dam, he was ideating how the future should be. Then I found, oh, this is a different material. This guy is a different visionary. That is why I am very, very delighted the Chevula constituency has got as a Bharatiya Janata Party candidate, Konda Vishweshwar Reddy Garu, a person at the right place, right time, who will stand with the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, because Modi ji needs people who will give a vision. Modi ji needs people who can ideate. It is important that people contribute to Modi ji's thinking. Of course, Modi ji's thinking is Viksit Bharat. Of course, Modi ji has got certain goals in mind to reach there. But Modi ji needs able hands like him in Parliament to guide him, to take him, to present their ideas along with Modi ji. That is why he is a perfect material as our MP candidate. And I am very, very sure Chevula constituency is a very unique constituency in whole of Hyderabad. Completely urban, you cross completely rural, then you see the completely upward mobile IT professionals. Then you see the other segment of our population who are aspirational, whom the government has to reach more. I don't think any constituency in Telangana is such rich, such diversified. It has got all segments of our population who look at government differently. So I'm very sure the people in this audience, though the roadshow got cancelled, I think it's a good sign. Because the rains have come. Anytime rains bring freshness. It's a blessing from God because rain is very pure, it blesses. So today I'm very sure Konda Reddy Garu is blessed by the rain, by the Varna Bhagwan. All good things had happened. I was also delighted that people danced in the rain. People danced in the rain, all people are supposed to come here. I thought this is my opening remark. That is a perfect example of how a MP candidate should be. A person who has achieved multiple things in his life. A person with a vision. A person who can ideate things in his own way. I am truly delighted based on my multiple interaction with them over the last 1.5 years, at least from my side, that you have got the right person. I am sure you have to come out and elect them. That's very important. The idea of politics is, in democracy, it is people have to come out and vote. Because there is no way he is going to meet all 29 lakh voters. No way. He is better half, all well-wishers, party cadres, everybody going in the road, hearts and campaigning. There is no way they can maximum beat 10% of electors. It is our duty as volunteers sitting here, as party karyakartas sitting here, to take this idea forward. Inspire others to come and vote. Vote for the right person. There is no question of competition. If you look at the credentials, the qualification, he is got to go the rest. There is no comparison to the other candidate. So I hope and pray in the next 3-4 days, whatever time is available in our hand, we will bring everybody to vote. That is important. We will bring everybody to vote, especially the IT professional forum's president this year. Only I would urge. So you create a record, sir. Urban cities only 50% voting, 54% voting. You create a record, 75% voting, 80% voting, 85% voting. With hard work, 100% voting. Hard work, it is possible. Let us all do that in the next 3-4 days. Thank you.
I request Ravi to please come on to the dais. He's the local young dynamic BJP leader. I request Gangadhar Garu, the local corporator of BJP, also to please come on to the dais.
way they want it, sir, they won't ask questions, or I should ask questions to you, you will answer.
Annamalai, I was in the parliament. Usually when we go out, people ask in elections or otherwise, they ask for this, they ask for money, they ask for pensions, they ask for roads. I was amazed. Modi did few things which people never asked for. And because people generally ask for what they immediately need. They cannot foresee if they get this, that will is the benefit. Nobody asks for bank accounts. Nobody asks Modi, if you give me bank accounts, I will give you a vote. And Modi focused on that. And in the villages I go, 10 years back, only 10 people or 7 people used to have bank accounts. Today, of course, in the same village, 2,000 people have bank accounts. Every house has 2 or 3 bank accounts. And a lot of critics that time, what's the use of having 0 rupees? What's the use of having a bank account when there's 0 rupees there? Who's going to put the money? And now they are realizing the benefit. We had this analogy scheme. It was there in the past government, I don't know what to say. And they used to get 150 rupees. And they have to pay 70 rupees bribe in the hand, they get 80 rupees. And even sometimes they have to follow the officer's fee. Now, because of that direct transfer, of course now it's 300 rupees under Modi government. And they get every penny of it. Now they are realizing the importance of that bank account. They never ask for bank account. But, and not only that, something unimaginable is happening in the villages at least. Of course there are a lot of problems, no doubt about it. But there used to be 5 motorcycles in the village. Now there are 500. Every household in the village has 1 motorcycle. So such transformation 100 times, I think never happened in detail. Another thing is, nobody said, give me bathrooms, I'll vote for you. They didn't ask for bathrooms. But he knew that, increase their self-respect, self-worth, and give them little pride. Nobody asked Modi for bathrooms. Even when I went for campaign 10 years ago, nobody said, give me bathrooms, give me vote. But he knew. And I think that's the visionary you're talking about. Visionary is not something that even the people who need it don't see. But somebody sees their needs and the solution in front of them. And I think that's what I'm saying.
And my question to our candidate is, being a member of parliament is nothing new to him. He has been a member of parliament. But right now, he is representing a party that has got accountability as a word. So this party is accountable. Wherever we go, we say what we have done. That's what I said. We have done this, we are going to do this in 5 years, and we set up. How excited are you truly, sir? Because the next 5 years is going to be a real game changer in Indian politics, Indian governance. How excited are you? How excited are you? The next 5 years is going to be excited. Real game changer next 5 years.
I am really, really excited. And one is he built a platform, whether it's the digital infrastructure or the physical infrastructure. He built a platform. Never before
we see central government shower such, whether it's the highways in Telangana or including my constituency. And of course this jam infrastructure, it's in place. And we are ready to leap off. And some of the things, especially in my case, we saw hurdles, those 3 farm bills, those electricity amendment bills. We need to jump those hurdles also, which were put by the others. And if we cross those, I think it's not by 2047, even earlier we can reach our target of BJP's or India's target of reaching number 1. One of the things I really see in my constituency is everybody is trying to do the impossible. My constituency is on a plateau. It's the highest elevated plateau, like a plateau. Elevated constituency in Telangana. And chief ministers are the chief ministers try to do the impossible. Get water from the valleys of Godavari and Krishna up there. And the electricity cost of pumping water in case of the old Pranahita Chevela is about 3 lakh rupees per acre Instead of that, we need to change the policies. These unviable projects are not only bad for Telangana, it's also bad for the national economy, and Kaleshwaram is the greatest example. Now we are embarking on another project called Palamur Nagare. That is another Kaleshwaram. So instead of that, of course, the simple thing is farmers want a good life, and instead of trying to get them the unviable irrigation project, they can even increase their either bonus on the MSP or give better Kisan Raitu Bandhu or higher amount. So spending 3 lakhs per MSP, even they get 30,000 rupees per acre, that's good. But even better,
and especially minus dry land, what Modi is doing. Now dry land crops in the olden days were cheap and inexpensive. Poor people used to eat millets. We grew up eating millets. I never ate rice until I came to a hostel in Madras and promote those millets, promote dry land agriculture, and that has now become very valuable. Quintal of rice is costing 2,000 rupees MSP. A quintal of millets is costing something like 17,000 rupees per liter, and it's rising. So don't go against nature, try to bring value from here, promote your traditional crops. They are healthy for the health, healthy for the environment, and healthy for the economy. So these are some of the things I definitely want to do. I'm excited. But in the city, there are a whole different set of problems. Civic infrastructure and social infrastructures. All the lakes have shrunk, all the parks have shrunk, and no new parks, and you saw the traffic jam. And the traffic jam is primarily because the town planners are not designing the town. The real estate tycoons are designing and doing the estate. Right here, there was a 30-story building, and the traffic to cross there is half an hour. Now they gave additional 25 floors. It's going to become a 55 floor. So definitely, we need to keep a check and a ward drop. And the best person to do is somebody sitting in the opposition here and pointing it out to the government and to the people. And second thing is, we get a lot of funds, which we didn't utilize. So, and they ask for more funds. So somebody here in Telangana from BJP, whether it's MP or MLA, he can do a better job than a local Congress or a ruling party MLA. So I'm definitely going to be that strong opposition.
I think you've waited patiently for a long time, and we keep listening to him. We know his ideas, and he has been very kind enough to export it also. I think it would be better if you have any questions you want to ask, clarify, ask your friends.
Before going ahead, I request Mr. Praveen Agarwal, who is a very senior employee in Wipro and a resident of our IT corridor, to give his message for just 1 minute. Then we'll go for question and answers.
Yeah. So my name is Praveen Agarwal. I'm basically from Mathura. I stayed here in Hyderabad for the last 22 years in this constituency. I have 3 points and I'll tell very, very quickly. This constituency, Shrinagampalli constituency, if I am not wrong, sir will know better, about 40% of our state revenue comes from this constituency, and we see the condition of the roads over here, sir. This is the message for the people. Yesterday, Sangeeta madam was in our apartment. Somebody asked this question. Modi ji is taking all the budgets and sending it to Gujarat and UP. Same thing is happening here, sir. All of our Shrinagampalli budget is going. We don't know where the budget is going. That's one thing. Second thing is, sir, 2000. Why do I want to vote for Modi ji? 2000, and this might be a repeat for some of us over here, because I have repeated it twice. Not here in some of the tweets. 2007, here in Hyderabad, my entire family survived a terrorist attack. My entire family survived a bomb blast. We came out unscathed from here. That bomb blast, we saw people died over there. Blood coming out there, right? Dongri Park, 7 people died there. Gokul Chaat, 15 people died there. Come 2014, we don't see the terrorists coming to our towns. Terrorists don't come to our cities and then kill us. Terrorists are scared at the borders itself. That's a good enough reason for me to vote for Modi ji. Today, when we sit in the seats, We don't see नीचे bomb तो नहीं है, right? And the third,
visionary leaders, unlike earlier expectations in the last 10 years, the expectations on the government has increased. And now, I am not asking any local questions or any local issue. What I am trying to put forward is, now the world is moving in a rapid phase, and that is because of the development of science and technology. And I have seen the witness in the recent last 10 years. The digitalization during demonetization and during COVID time, we are all able to do our activities from home because of the digitalization. Those who have criticized the digitalization subsequently learned that even a common man in the country can use these digital transformations in an excellent fashion. Now my question is, now we are now entering into the next technology. This technology is artificial intelligence. Now since we have two people here, this artificial intelligence have come here to stay, and it is going to transform, change our lives beyond our expectations. So, now my question to both the visionary leaders here is, how far and how long and in what form do we have to use artificial intelligence in our purpose, and do we have to use any restrictions, and what is the vision that we are going to use it in a systematic fashion, and will you be able to put forward your opinion or your comments on the coming technology and how we are going to put it in our country and develop it and put it in all walks of life? We are going to be influenced by artificial intelligence. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, please sit down, sir. Let him answer this question and then I will give you. Please sit down, sir. I request everyone to answer only one-line question so that many of you will get the opportunity.
First question is about artificial intelligence, and we just had a long conversation about artificial intelligence some time back, and what we foresee. And you have to understand, sir, the reason we are trusting Modi ji, the reason everybody wants Modi ji, because he is one step ahead of the curve. That we have to understand. In the parliament, when Modi ji spoke about digitization, and Modi ji had a vision, the whole of our country will get into digitization very effortlessly, seamlessly, smoothly. I remember the former finance minister, P. Chidambaram ji, said, "Oh, India is not that advanced. How will somebody who is selling something in the road, how will they get adapted?" Now it's a matter of happiness for all of us. 46% of world's digital payments happens in our country. 46%. 54% happens in the rest of the world. Because one, Indians, we are very good in adaptability. We adapt very fast. And it is not necessary we learn so much. It is not necessary somebody has to teach it. Just by seeing, observing, we learn. That is the pride of being a Bharati. Now what Modi ji is doing is trying to challenge the spirit and trying to make sure that we are one step ahead of the curve. Like what you said, artificial intelligence. Of course it is going to be a game changer. In the last 1 year, even during the election time, we are seeing both the plus and minus. The minus is which is more being reportable in the press. Somebody's video is getting marked. And unknown words which you never spoke are being done. That on a state like Telangana, for which a police case is happening. Even the chief minister is involved in that case. We are seeing that. And a lot of positive things. Right away, a lot of information you are getting at one shot. The way I see it, how artificial intelligence will be in the future, that is for here to stay. And I am very sure the government of India is one step ahead with respect to the other countries, with respect to how artificial intelligence should be handled. Of course, there is a regulation, and any new technology that comes has to be regulated. Nothing can be left unregulated in a country like India and in a public space. Regulation is going to go hand in hand. But at the same time, it is important that artificial intelligence is not going to take anybody's job. It has to empower you. Empowering you doesn't mean it can take away jobs. I think everybody is very clear. As our lives, we are looking at more efficiency, we are looking at more progressiveness in our life. Artificial intelligence is going to just add value. It cannot be a jobless group. India, we are right now, we are about $3.8 trillion now. So Modi ji has a vision that by 2047 we have to reach probably the number one country in the world. If you look at the vision that Modi ji has got, China is at 17 trillion now, Americans are at 13 trillion. If you plot this in a map, India, if it grows at 13.5% starting from today, Americans are growing at 4% starting from today, both of us will reach in 2047 equal. Is 13.5% growth realistically possible? It is possible. India probably we can do something which the world hasn't done till now, in which artificial intelligence has to play a role. The traditional means of our economy has to play a role. Technology has to play a role, because we are looking at an unparalleled growth which no country in the world has seen. Now we have done it, sir. What? We are adding 1 trillion in a matter of 6 years. Now the next 1 trillion we will add in a matter of 2 years. Then 1 trillion we will add in a matter of year. Then we will add in a matter of months. Because you are looking at that speed, that scale. How is it going to happen? We are not just trusting technology, we are building real-time infra. This budget 11,000 crore is put only into infra. Roads, ports, next level. We are looking at bullet trains, we are looking at Vande Bharat, we are looking at ports, we are looking at airports, we are looking at inland water management. So, artificial intelligence per se is not going to create a disturbance. The country has to have hard asset, roads. You got to travel faster from place A to place B. Your internet has to be faster. And all the technology that you use has to come cheaper. And all the villages has to get connected at a good speed. We are looking at 6 lakh, 6.5 lakh villages. And the BharatNet is a vision that we have. The basic technology that is available in Sherlingapalli constituency. I come from a village which has got 42 houses, my village. I don't live in Sherlingapalli. My father and mother live in a village even now, which has got 42 houses. And what is his vision is, I am going to take this speed, this scale of internet to all the villages of this country. So everything has to come, and artificial intelligence is also going to be a part of it. Of course, the emphasis has to be on hard asset, the hard infra, what you visibly create. What our candidate was trying to make up is, this is a state where they are not investing in infra. Why Hyderabad road is bad, sir? Today morning it was different, hot sun. You are campaigning at May at 46 days. Today evening in Hyderabad, you are looking at, while coming I saw a woman, a mother, who fell down while boarding a bus. People are running to lift her because she was trying to walk towards the bus, there is a pothole. She put her leg in the pothole, she just fell down. And you are looking at a city, a global city, a world important city. You are looking at the center of city where people are not able to navigate in a road. Because this is the condition in which the governments here are looking at infra. Infra for them means it doesn't give votes. Who will put votes? Will anybody vote just because we have built a bridge? Just because we have built a good road? No. The politicians are very smart where votes will come. So Modi ji is breaking that. He is saying, look, I am not going to count your votes on the basis of the road I put. I am going to do it because India needs it. So the long and short answer is, yes, artificial intelligence is important. But next 25 years, we got to invest in infra. We got to put money in infra, create assets for the country. Then technology has to coexist. Together, we are looking at the transformation change.
Next question. Sir, you would like to share your thoughts, sir? Your next question. I think this gentleman has one question. My request is one sentence question, please.
So my question is, as a common IT employee who pays tax, a lot of these things, toilet, bank account, these things are many among us cannot relate to. We have not got any such benefit. So my question is, what would have been the scenario if the UPA government has continued from 2014 till now, and what would be the scenario if Modi comes again? How my life would be different?
Okay, it's a favorite question for me. What if Modi ji hasn't come to our country in 2014 as Prime Minister? Congress government, if you look at 1952 budget, 57 they came to power, 60s, 67, 72, 77, 84, 91, 2004, 2009. These are the years when Congress came to power. Every time they give the same slogan, Garibi Hataao. we will make sure poverty is eliminated. Every time, same slogan on elections. Do you know how much houses Congress has built for the poor in our country? In the name of Indra Awas Yojana, the name of Indra Gandhi Amma, they have built less than till houses. All through the years, urban, rural, 40 lakh houses, less than that they have built. Do you know how much houses Modi has built in the last 10 years? He has built 4 crore houses. I'm just comparing the scale. When Modi took over in 2014, only 64% of India had gas connection. And MLAs were happy, MPs were happy because somebody will come to our house in the morning. Sir, LPG connection ka letter de do. Because MPs will feel happy. Oh, there is somebody in my house. They want a letter. I'll happily sign a greeting. Because the voter is addicted to an MP because you have to stand at their doorstep just to get an LPG connection. Or even a simple railway reservation. Imagine you want a letter from MP. Or even a notary public. Tomorrow if somebody is going and telling, I am Konde Vishweswar Reddy Garu, I will say before 2014, I will not believe you. Somebody should say you are Konda Vishweswar Reddy Garu. Then a notary fellow taking 300 rupees will say, he is Konda Vishweswar Reddy Garu. Then we will agree he is Konda Vishweswar Reddy Garu. It was that level. Now after 2014, for the very first time, we are seeing accountability. 100% of India has got an LPG connection. It's not a joke. 64% in 70 years. Now 100% LPG connection. 49.54 crore people in the last 10 years they got bank account, which means 49 crore Indians did not have a bank account. Imagine, 18,000 villages did not have a current when Modi took over on May 30, 2014. I'm just comparing. Now, whole of India is electrified. The whole of India has got a bank account. The whole of India has got an LPG connection. Just look at the scale we have achieved in the last 10 years. And not only that, sir. If you look at the physical infra, Congress time, the highway length they were putting, less than 11 kilometers, 10 kilometers, some places 9 kilometers. We are doing 33 kilometers per day. Airport 74, now 151. Number of medical seats double. Number of universities 740, 1543. You look at anything we have doubled, we have tripled. Any indicator we have doubled. Per capita income 86,000 rupees. Now 1,82,000 rupees. Everything Modi has done. So we are looking at a government in the last 10 years has done something which no democratic government in the world has achieved in a 10 years span. No democratic. If Modi is not there, second question. First we are comparing what we have done. Second, Modi is not there. Let us imagine Congress is continuing in 2014. Northeast, when Modi took over, Nagaland was a problem. Assam Ulfa was active. Manipur was a problem. The Naxals were operating from Kathmandu to Tirupati. There was a Naxal corridor. There was a problem in Kashmir. So you are looking at internal problems which would have become at least 2 times more because of their appeasement politics. Sir mentioned about one Lumbini Park. I cannot have guaranteed in the last 10 years because why terrorists have to target Hyderabad? Because it's a global city. If anybody targets Hyderabad, it comes in New York Times, column number 1, page number 1. They want it. Investment doesn't come. The global world will not look at Hyderabad. So Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, very important targets for a terrorist. That's why they take all the effort to come. That is why urban cities, we should feel grateful. The cities which are growing, which normally becomes a target of terrorists, we should become grateful that in the last 10 years, internal security, Modi ji has built a fortress around our country. So in the last 10 years, again if Modi ji is not there, the Congress government has continued. What would have happened? We will be looking at dynastic politics more. We will be looking at governance that is not accountable. We will be looking at no money on infra. We will be looking at maybe an internal civil war situation. And thanks to Modi ji, maybe God always sends the right person at the right time. We are looking at a country, in our life we are thinking, oh, number 1 position ho jayega. Did we think in 2010, sir? Where were we? 11th largest economy. Chota-mota countries, they were before us. And anybody talks about India, they say, oh, India is corrupt. India is a country of snake charmer. Oh, India is a country you did Commonwealth Games. You did even toilet paper you purchased for 750 rupees. Now, moment we say India, they're looking at a country which has got potential. And they know India cannot be taken lightly in the global forum. And they know India as a country that will give as good as it gets in the international forum. So, fundamental transformation. You cannot even imagine what will happen to our country if Congress has continued power for some time. And for the very first time, we are looking at in a democracy, an Indian democracy, a government can function without corruption. You tell me. In an Indian democracy, have you seen a government functioning without corruption? You look at Telangana, the BRS government, you look at Congress. They are the mother of corruption. Every single thing, the irrigation project, this, that. So 10 years, not Modi ji, there are 76 ministers in the cabinet. Collectively, this government, nobody can even make an accusation. We have stolen a pencil from office. That kind of clean government was given. And now we are going one step further. Why people like Kondaji is nominated here? Because Modi ji is clear. Members of parliament should have a vision, should have a standing of their own, should have the trust of public, should actually deliver services in a proper way. That is why Modi ji is very careful whom the party nominates. The party doesn't like that will not nominate people. It's a very careful process. It gets from the state, it goes to center, it goes to parliament board. Modi ji sits for 3 hours, 5 hours. We have started meeting where Modi ji sits for 7 hours. Through the midnight, each candidate will analyze pros and cons, the goodness, what they bring to the table. Then they get nominated. So that is also a great thing that has happened because the candidate selection of Bharatiya Janata Party is one of the most robust candidate selection party. I need not know a Gandhi family person. I need not know somebody who lives in Delhi. I need not know somebody who can carry favors with me in Congress party. All we have to do is be ourselves and the party will give responsibilities to everybody. So basically, Modi ji brought accountability into politics also.
I'll just add to that. I was quite amazed. You know, when I first became a parliamentarian, it was 2014, and there was a bill subsequently called FRDA, Financial Resolution and Deposit Insurance. Financial resolution was required because the banks were going bankrupt. Every public sector bank was bankrupt. SBI, which is good, was just about floating. Nobody could turn it around. But he brought in a lot of banking reforms. But more importantly, he pointed out, it's the poor that pay higher interest rates and the repayment is more than 98%. Is the big industrialist, Vijay Mallya's and all, take thousands of crores and the repayment is either delayed or they just run away to England. He started focusing on that, made a lot of banking reforms, and people had to run away. People had to run away, and he made sure that the BJP's stated philosophy is Antodaya, which also matches them. It also made the banks profitable. He took some very tough decisions. What he did was, the previous Congress government, it also addresses the gentleman who was talking, how does it make a difference between Congress and... So previous Congress government were hiding unrepayable loans under NPA grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. They are not NPAs. They'll never recover it. They should write it off. Previous governments, what they showed is, on the paper, they showed the bank was performing well. NPA also is an asset. So let's say if a bank had 1,000 crores non-performing asset, which actually should be written off, they didn't write it off. And it had 100 crore profit. They had to pay, actually they had a 900 crores loss. They had to pay taxes on the 100 crores profit. Modi ji had the correct to call spade a spade. This is not recoverable, we'll write it off. Of course, there are insinuations and allegations saying Modi writes off big people's loans. But who gave those loans? Congress government. So he wrote off those loans. So immediately it shows, instead of showing a 100 crore profit, it's a 900 crore loss. And all the banks' balance sheets suddenly became unhealthy because that's the truth and the fact. And from there he started the reforms and started giving loans to the middle class, lower middle class, where the 500 motorcycle came or all these apartment complexes came. They're taking loans without paying any price. And today the banking industry is turned around And State Bank of India profits are more than Reliance Industries profit. Something unbelievable. Then, not only that, you know, before somebody wants to invest in stock market, they used to invest in Wipro, Infosys, TCS, IT companies. Today, the shares of the public sector banks are overshooting Wipro, Infosys. Unimaginable in Congress government. And not just PSU banks. Right next to us is BHL, loss-making. Nalco, Oil India, ONGC, all these were loss-making. And nobody believed that public sector companies could be loss-making. We turned it around. So the benefit of that is common man being able, whether it's a poor guy or whether it's a middle class or upper middle class, they could easily walk into a bank now and take a loan. And I think that's making a difference to a lot of salary class.
Thank you, sir. A lot of questions are coming from the both the sides. Two questions from this side, then I'll get to that side as well. Please be assured that I'll come there, sir. Please, small questions. Okay. So it's a privilege and honor to stand in front of you and address you and ask a question. So I would say Viksit Bharat, the ground is Vishwaguru. Narendra Modi's vision is the civilizational revival and the fact that civilization is hierarchy, and that's where we talk. I was just reading today about medical colleges in India, 700 years old, in Tachasila, in Banaras, in Nalanda, and these colleges. So the question is, going back to the roots, and that's where we get our confidence from the self-confidence, the societal confidence, as well as the national self-esteem. It's all interrelated to where we come from, and that's the root. And it's the same case as with China, which very clearly believes that it's a medieval kingdom, and that's why they believe that they are there to rule. It comes from that perspective. So, and it's been acknowledged globally that the only power which can handle China or can counter China is India, from the civilization perspective. Having said that, there are some historical wrongs to be corrected in terms of now. On one hand, we look at progression and where India can head, but India cannot head anywhere without correcting the historical wrongs. And the historical wrongs in terms of vision are the constitutional laws, the IPC, and the judicial. I come from a judicial background. We are from a family of administrators and high court judges and so on and so forth. 11th generation in Hyderabad. Vishweshwar knows this very well. So when are we looking at these kind of fundamental changes which can bring up equilibrium and equality in the society? For a common man to step out and say, here I am being treated as an equal and not as a second grade or third grade or a fourth grade citizen.
I'm very happy you asked this question, sir. Let us define the word called Viksit here, what we have actually thinks. So Viksit means develop or development. Now let us define what is development. Develop means that all of us should have a car, all of us should have a standard means of income. We don't actually need that. This is part of development. This is one part. If you look at US now, the average per capita income is about $60,000. We are $2,500. And once you cross $6,000, they call you a mid-income country. Now, if you compare the current US and current India, US is probably a rich country, but it is not a developed country. You have to understand the difference. $60,000 they have per capita income, but it's a deeply divided society. It's a deeply divided society. The nature of family is broken. The concept of family is broken. One of the highest divorce rates in the world. The highest incarceration in the world. Per capita 1 lakh. More number of people in America are jailed than any part of the world. So we can just say statistics after statistics. What Modi means in developed Bharat, economy is one pillar. Of course, we want to reach a state because you're looking at 142 crore. And statistics says we might reach 165 crore before we start dropping down. Which means the highest population India will see is going to be 165 crore. It might increase up before we start declining. You're looking at a concept of population which no country in the world has seen 160. China has seen about 137, 135. First time we have crossed 140. So we are going into a territory where nobody knows what is going to happen, number one. And second, you are looking at developed as a word where the concept of villages have to stay alive. It is not that everybody moves to Hyderabad and everybody takes a flat in Stellingpilli and everybody is in Shivula. There is nobody in Nagar Kurnool. There is nobody in Karimnagar. No, that is not a developed India, sir. And we are not looking at a concept where the wealth is going to define how happy you are. No, wealth is just a part. So that is why your question is very important, because you have answered a part of it. So we got to do it the Indian way. So there is no American way, there is no England way, there is no European way, there is no China way. This developed Bharat is going to be the Bharat way. Spirituality, economy, village roots, our parampara, happiness, concept of living a good life even after 60. The problem with China, sir, when you become richer, you become older. So we don't want to have a country where we have become richer, but by the time we will become older. So we have to look at a concept, a future where you got to become richer, you got to become older, you got to still live a healthy and happy life. Healthy and happy life needs to have park, needs to have amenities, needs to have clean air, needs to have good drinking water, needs to have happiness. So that is why, sir, people have to be very careful. If there is one party which can articulate Viksit Bharat, if there is one party which can get it done, it is only Modi's party. Because it is such a complex. It is not that easy, sir. We are not looking at economic growth. Economic growth anybody can do. Economic growth any second person can do. But economic growth is not developed Bharat. And build institutions of excellence. You mentioned about Taxila, you mentioned about Nalanda. We got to build institutions of eminence like that. And we got to be the world capital, not in economy. The world capital in spirituality. The world capital in the ease of living. The world capital in happiness. The world capital where the Bharatiya way will act as an inspiration for everybody. So that is why people like him better. So who can articulate this in parliament? He has to go and talk. Hyderabad just doesn't need roads. He will say Hyderabad needs parks also. Hyderabad doesn't want international airport. Along with international airport, Hyderabad needs clean water. Hyderabad just doesn't want another concrete structure. Hyderabad wants clean air also. So when everything is combined, you're looking at Viksit Bharat.
Thank you, sir. Here one question.
Did you miss some part of the question, sir?
Here one question on judicial reforms.
Sir, myself, Vishwanath Sharma, sir. So there are lots of cases pending in the apex court in judiciary. So even AI is not going to take up of these cases. So even the government is not able to increase the judges. So what is your take on judicial reforms in India?
Judicial reforms are definitely required. Successive governments try to address it using tribunal for customs, central administrative tribunals. That kind of took the load off. But I think in the primary judiciary with the High Court and the Supreme Court, one of the things is so many antiquated laws were there. We need to get rid of that. We need to get rid of the antiquated laws, and I think the previous government, the present government, really did a lot in that manner. But one of the things is if we interfere too much, then the judiciary comes in and says, there was this activism, judicial activism. So they give they push back. So this has to happen over a period of time, and definitely there's one leader that is pushing for judicious reforms in the judiciary, it's Modi. Simply putting tribunals, yes, it's helping. Without stepping on the toes of judiciary, without compromising independence of the judiciary, it is challenging. But I think Modi is the right direction, and hopefully in this next 5 to 10 years, this problem will be reduced drastically. I could only come up with that.
So I think sir touched on the very important part that antiquated laws, old ones. So we'll be very happy to note, especially since you asked this question. In the last 10 years, we have taken out 18,000 laws. We have taken out 18,000 unwanted acts. 18,000 unwanted single page orders based on which a precedent was set. 18,000. 2,000 acts were taken out. Acts about 2,000 taken out. This is a single biggest house cleaning Modi has done in the last 10 years. Now very funnily sir, in Andhra Pradesh there was an act. If you want to become a motor vehicle inspector, you should have a proper teeth, which is in proper order. There is an act, British time. If you open your mouth, if your teeth is not in proper order, you are rejected. We took that out. We took that out. So this kind of acts were taken out in the last 10 years. Now, Modi is repeatedly emphasizing on two things. From our side, government side, High Court vacancies are full, Supreme Court vacancies are full. There is no pending vacancy per se. But Modi is pushing for more technology in the judiciary. Now, you'll be very happy to know, Modi in the last Chief Minister CJA conference he mentioned that courts, it is important they should start arguing in mother tongues. Andhra, Telugu, not necessarily English, Tamil Nadu, that's a big fight happening. So, and the judgment pronounced by Supreme Court should be available in your mother tongue to read. So right now there are 8 languages Supreme Court judgment is available. Artificial intelligence. You can take it, you can read it. So now, like sir said, judiciary has to be independent. Nobody should touch it. Because India, judiciary is the last resort. People should trust, okay, even if government is making a mistake, the judiciary cannot afford to make a mistake. So you cannot tinker too much with judiciary. At the same time, with use of proper technology, we can bring pendency down. And more important, use local adalats effectively. Silly issues we fight in court for 40 years. And maintain the fight is between brother and brother. Brother and brother, they go all the way to Supreme Court, sir. District Court they start, Sessions Court they go. It will be a matter of 2 inches of land. Then High Court, then Supreme Court. And how do they solve that issue? They will sell one part of land and fight this because it is prestige issue. So that is, as a society, we should think, is a fight worth it. Americans function on compromise. Plea bargain. Come, we'll sit down, we'll discuss which is better for you. I think I'm sure over a point of time we will get into more compromises in local adalat. Sit down, not burden the court, because the Supreme Court is essentially a constitutional court. Of course, it's an overseeing court also. You want appeal court also. Because our Supreme Court does multiple things. The American Supreme Court is basically a constitutional court. It rules on constitutional matters. But our Supreme Court, we are overburdening. Right from appeal to a constitutional, our law is interpreted to a government order. So I think in the next 10-15 years it is important that as a society we should be very clear. Why should I go? Why you should not?
Thank you, sir.
If I speak too much, I might border on contempt of court. That is why it's very important that we should speak what exactly it is and what is happening, what is happening.
Man has got one question here, sir.
When would the day India change to Bharat completely? When would the day India change to Bharat completely?
Madam, our constitution is very clear, the line 1. Bharat, that is India. It's very clear on line 1, constitution when we read it. And Congress is like, oh, suddenly you change the name to Bharat. India was always Bharat. And there is no need to change it. And the constitution is very clear. And when Modi ji in the G20, it was not an Indian prime, it was a Bharat Prime Minister. So we are very clearly mentioned. So there is nothing in the law which says that there is a name change by law you should do it. The constitution is very clear. India, that is Bharat. So it is Bharat. And very specifically, Bharat, I personally believe it actually captures the essence of our country. It captures the spirit of who we are. It captures, madam, like you and me.
Our name India is named not by us. It's I don't think China is named by Britishers, but or America is named by Britishers.
So we are running short of time, and for more questions that are there, we have sir, both Annamalai sir and Vishweshwar Reddy are very active on Twitter, and also Vishweshwar Reddy has got his own website, kdr4mp.org. You can share a lot of your thoughts there as well. So final questions we have got, I think, please go ahead.
Sir, we have 5 minutes to 10 o'clock. After 10 o'clock, if you use my FIR will be booked like it's Kotagar. So election thing is done then.
Yes, sir. I have a question on the defense. And like we have been speaking about various universities which have come in the last 10 years. But actually in the defense sector, we have got only one university, that is the Rashtriya Raksha University in Gujarat. But there was also a concept of IDU, Indian Defense University. And it was in 2015, but after that I have not seen any progress on that. So like, do you have any information as to when it is going to be formed? Because the Rashtriya Raksha thing does only for the internal thing, but for external we don't have any university.
I actually don't have that information, sir. Maybe if we can take your mobile number, if sir is having, we will answer. Else we will take your mobile number, find out, tomorrow morning we will call you back. I got his number.
Requesting the Modi government on behalf of you to declare India as a Bharat and Hindu country and remove the word Dalit and secularism from the Constitution of India. And the last question, if you were given option to choose, which portfolio will you choose and why?
I'll just quickly do the unlimited insurance to the poor. Why does anyone need insurance? I get into accident. Sir, I need insurance, right? But if you have the best hospitals for free, government hospitals, like Goa, you don't need that insurance. If you have good education, good roads, good social infrastructure, then the need for insurance itself doesn't exist. Because, of course, financially, if there's a death in the family, the society takes care, life insurance. And that is what Modi is providing. And for nominal price.
So one small suggestion.
Only that.
One small suggestion to you, sir. I worked in Chevella in many places. You can make Chevella as aquaculture hub. I have a project work on that. I'll meet you and I'll explain you about that. Thank you, sir.
I'll just answer a part of your question. You wanted to declare India as a Hindu country. You mentioned that. There is this very interesting Supreme Court judgment, which is still the only judgment that is available. Hindutva, what is Hindutva? The Supreme Court in its judgment has very clearly said, Hindutva is a way of life. That is the Indian way of life is Hindutva. Hindutva is not a wrong word, Hindutva is not a bad word. It's a Supreme Court. Nobody had an appeal and nobody questioned it. That is the current standing. It's a Supreme Court judgment. Hindutva is a way of life. But the problem, many people understand Hinduism as a religion. Many people don't understand this as a way of life. I keep telling you, a Hindu way of life accommodates a Muslim. A Hindu way of life accommodates a Christian. A Hindu way of life is the only way of life that is closer to the nature. Because our way of life is actually not a religion. Swami Vivekananda in 1893 in Chicago, he mentioned this. The World Parliament of Religions, everybody came and everybody spoke. Vivekananda ji was speaking 22nd or 23rd in the order. He mentioned since everybody is speaking religion and everybody is talking about this, that and that. So I never intended mind as a religion, but since everybody is religion, then mind is the mother of our religion. If you look at Vivekananda's speech. But the problem in India is left liberal ecosystem, the London and American educated politicians, the so-called influencers. They're like, oh, religion means it's a doctrine, it's a life. And people don't understand this Hindu is a way of life. It's not a doctrine. It accommodates everybody, it doesn't exclude anybody. It takes people along. And for that, I think maturity will come, people will be more, the mind is more open, they will listen to everything. And that takes a matter of time. With respect to the second question you mentioned about Modi ji declaring Bharat, the Bolshevik is already in the constitution. I would like to be a simple worker, sir. I'm not about to do it Tamil Nadu. A lot of Karyakartas, next 10 years we have to work and build a party. So not seeking power, not here for power. Our work is unfinished in Tamil Nadu. We still have to walk a long way for the next 5 years. Thank you, sir.
We have only 2 minutes. Can I just before you switch on the mic, can I make a request? So I think we have only 2 minutes before the mics are switched off. One small request. The opposition has fielded 15 Konda Vishweshwar Reddys. Okay? 15 Konda Vishweshwar Reddys. There's of course only one real guy, other guy is fake. They changed their family names also. But in this one, on the ballot day, the uneducated will not make a mistake. They will simply blindly press on lotus, on Kamal. If the educated will get confused, you guys will get confused. You will try to search for better Vishweshwar and will get confused. So, don't look for anything, just look for lotus symbol. Okay.
Symbol number 2. Symbol number 2. Konda Vishweshwar Reddy Garu. I'm sure we will vote and get a fantastic MP. Then we always say, the life comes alone. So there is only one Konda Vishweshwar Reddy Garu. Let us all work for him and make him all the very best, sir.